The top 10 first issues debuting this week on New Comic Book Day, June 9th, 2021. Hey everyone, it's vmcampos, comic book fan. Welcome to the latest episode of the weekly vmcampos Comic Book Club. I'm your host, vmcampos. This is the series where I count down the top 10 first issues debuting this week on New Comic Book Day. Welcome to episode number 271 for June 9th, 2021. This is the series where we count down the first issues debuting this week so you know what to pick up when you go to your local comic book shop. Tell them vmcampos sent you. Let's talk about some comics. Alright, so number 10 on the list, I picked Image Comics' 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton, number 1. This is written by Kyle Starks with art by Chris Schweitzer. For fans of Chew and Assassination Nation, comes a new action mystery series from Eisner Award nominees Chris Schweitzer and Kyle Starks. The world's most unlikable action star has been found dead, and his previous TV sidekicks are looking to solve the mystery. There's a bunch of variant covers. This is the regular cover right here. We've also got this really cool like Grindhouse style, National Enquirer sort of style, Plastic Surgery Nightmares, Kyle S. Caught on Video. And then there's also the Pride Month style. Add it to your collection right away. And we get some interior art. This is a sort of cartoony style that I enjoy. It's vaguely Erica Henderson style. It's a fun sort of plot and really way out there, so it's number 10 on this week's list. At number 9, I picked Dark Horse Comics' Secret Land number 1, written by Christopher Ermagard, and art by Tomias Ira. Hitler's dead, as well as he should be. Ben and Catherine are supposed to be together, happy. Instead, Ben fights the war in the Pacific with the reckless heroism of one who believes his fiancée was killed in action. Yet, Catherine lives, undercover and about to arrive in the Third Reich's last bastion. Something is waiting for her there, for all of them, and it's hungry. Cosmic horror from the creators of the Whispering Dark. We don't get any interior art preview, but this cover looks pretty cool. There's like frozen stuff, demons, monsters, whatever. It's a 4-issue limited series, so I like that when we can get this interesting story in a short amount of issues. Who knows, if it's popular enough, it might go on to multiple issues or like part 2s and such. And then the subtitle here, Love and Terror at the Edge of the World. So this is my pick for number 9 from Dark Horse Comics. Are you ready to simp for Archie? It is Archie, 80th anniversary, Everything Archie, number 1. Everything's Archie, number 1. The lovable teenager is 80 years old in 2021, and we're kicking it off with a variety of anniversary one-shots. We've got Fred Van Lent as the writer, Dan Parent as the artist. So there's obviously been many famous Archie artists throughout the decades, like Dan DeCarlo, but Dan Parent feels like one of the classic Archie artists who's been doing it for like 20 years or something. And this is one of these anthology sort of series, classic Archie art there. There's Betty, so cute as always. Got the classic Dan Parent smile. There's a bunch of variant covers. This one is the Ben Caldwell cover, a sort of more realistic style of Archie. The villainy of tourists, Jughead, how is he even alive? Veronica outsmarts Veronica. That cover's pretty fun. In Archie Vision. I love that it's like a beaten up sort of a soft cover. We've also got this one by Aaron Lopresti. It's got some realism, but still you can recognize the characters. But the one that I'm picking up is this Rian Gonzalez one. This is just so kawaii. I love this style. It would have been cool for the interior art to be in this style as well. This sort of anime manga sort of style, very luminous, very enjoyable. That's the one I'm picking up. But there's a bunch of them for you to simp over if you'd like, because everything's coming up Archie in number 8 this week. Moving over from the wholesomeness of Archie and the gang, how about Vampirella and Red Sonja and the gang? Yes, it's Dynamite's Dynamite Lives. This is the sequel to the mashup for the century that happened a few weeks ago, where we got the worlds of Vampirella, Red Sonja, Lady Death, so many mashups. Miss Fury was in there too, I think. Just throw everything in a blender, put zombies in there. It was a fun tale. Kind of interesting how it ended. And then we have the sequel, Dynamite Lives. Here we have the Lucio Perillo cover. Ash Williams is making a debut in this mashup soup here. We've got Vampirella all zombied up. Lots of variant covers to enjoy. Here's the Arthur Sidem variant cover. I love his realism. It's also kind of scary how he's got the like zombified aspect of things, but Ash looks amazing. Love this cover. There's also the Joseph Michael Linsner cover. He always draws the ladies very well. Ash looks also amazing. I would have liked to have seen slightly at an angle. The chainsaw right there looks a little bit odd straight at the camera. Slight angle. Come on, next time, Michael. But no spoilers on what happened to Red Sonja. Lots of variant covers. This one is the Dave Acosta, green tinted zombie vampire Vampirella battling Ash. Another cool cover. There's also a cosplay cover, and what's the famous saying? Always get the cosplay covers. So here we have not listed on who is the cosplayer until you get the book. The interior will tell you. I'm glad Red Sonja is okay on this cover. And then there's also the Virgin non-zombie Final Order cutoff date version. You would have known about this one if you had been paying attention to my Final Order cutoff videos. You would have ordered this one without the zombified Vampirella cover, and then a very cool Sidem art. So if you like zombies, get Dynamite Lives #1 in 7th place this week. Moving over to Aftershock Comics, I picked Bunny Mask #1. This is by Paul Tubin, Andrea Muti, and Taylor Esposito. First of all, I love this cover. I love the watercolor aspect of this. It's some girl with some weird bunny mask, and she's got green skin, blood, and the cool stalactites and stalagmites in the background. I like that logo as well. What's this all about? A new horror series from the creator of the Eisner-nominated Colder. Sealed in a cave before the dawn of humanity, released by a crazed madman, Bunny Mask walks our world once more. But for what dark purpose does she use her unnatural powers? And what's her connection to Bea Foster, a young girl murdered by her father 14 years ago? Lots of heavy stuff. Very cool cover art here. Same artist that does the interior art, so can't wait to check it out. We've got a variant cover where it's an actual bunny mask. To show your allegiance, get one of each. Cut this one out, put it on just in time for Halloween, and this will make your most horrific nightmare feel like a walk in the park. All hail Behemoth. We're at the 5th place this week. Freak Snow #1. This is by Kevin Roditelli, Rob Cannon, art by Rob Cannon, various cover versions. A frozen apocalyptic story in the spirit of Mad Max, Fallout, and Borderlands meets Quentin Tarantino. It begins with Bernie, a psychedelic addict surviving in a glacial wasteland. A fight with brutal gunslingers ensues, and crazy hallucinations lead our weird hero on a quest to find the whole of truth? Yeah, a mystic whole that tells the truth. The only thing we can promise is a lot of death. Love this cover. I love the contrast between the red and the blue tones. This is by Victor Santos. We've also got a variant cover by Drew Moss. This one looks pretty amazing as well. Camera angle, this worm's eye view Dutch angle style with great black tones and red highlights. She's got a pretty big gun. Don't mess with her. And lastly, the psychedelic one by Dimitris Pantazis. This speaks for itself. But for the audio listeners of the podcast, it's basically someone's brain in their mouth and their head splitting open. Yeah, you have to see it. If you're over on the audio version of the podcast, come on over and join us in the YouTube version to see what I'm talking about. Hilarious and weird. And it's #5 on the list. Now on this list I usually count down first issue, first prints, but here I'm going to break my own rule to tell you about Chasing the Dragon #1, second print. This is from Heavy Metal Magazine. Denton J. Tipton is the writer, and Menton 3 is the artist. Second printing cover by Joseph Michael Linsner. In Chasing the Dragon, New York Times bestselling writer Denton J. Tipton and celebrated painter Menton 3 explores, or is that Menton Cubed, explores a dark fantasy world ravaged by the rampant use of a drug made by the blood of dragons. What kind of WTH story is that? That's why I love comics. Such a variety of stories, variety of creativity, cool art, memorable art. Don't sleep on these smaller publishers, even though Heavy Metal's been around since the 70s. But don't sleep on the non-big two publishers. You can get a lot of interesting stories coming out from them. I'm happy to tell you all about it here week after week on the show. You're welcome. Here's another comic that's going to fly under the radar for you unless I tell you all about it. We've got Scout Comics' Cherry Blackbird #1. Joseph Schmalke is the writer as well as the artist, and you can see by this cover that this looks amazing. And check out the subtitle, Track 1, Drug, Satan, Death, Witch. Also note it's the 18+ adult content marker in the corner, and even the solicitation here says, note, this title is for 18+ audiences and comes polybag, so I'm going to trust you. Don't buy this for your kids. What's this about? Rock star Cherry Blackbird sold her soul for fame. Now at the age of 26, time is running short. The day she turns 27, she'll be dragged to hell. But Cherry's not one to go quietly. The devil tasks her with collecting 7 demonic souls that have escaped the abyss. If she can do this before her next birthday, she'll be released from her infernal pact and spared infernal damnation. Heaven help anyone who gets in her way. Rock and roll, demons, adult content, what's not to love? This is number 3 pick this week. Number 2 is Marvel's Heroes Reborn Night-GWEN #1. How are you liking these mashups that are happening with the Heroes Reborn storyline? Written by Vita Ayala, art by Farid Karami, and this is a cover by David Nakayama. I love DNA's artwork, it's always so very cool. Here we have Nightbird, aka Gwen Stacy, where she is Ravencroft Asylum's leading psychiatrist by day, but at night she dons the guise of the vigilante known as Nightbird. This is a one-shot, it's 40 pages, it's $4.99, features some great DNA cover art. We've also got another variant art. I don't love this one. This one's by Takeshi Miyaza. Looks cool overall, but I'm going to pick the Dave Nakayama. So if you can't get enough Gwen Stacy, here's another Gwen character. And number 1 this week is DC Pride #1 from DC Comics to celebrate Pride. This is a one-shot. We've got the Jim Lee regular cover as well as a variant cover that I like. This is a variety of writers and artists making stories about a variety of LGBTQIA+ characters. An introduction to the new hero Dreamer, pinup gallery, 6 exciting new profiles and stories. There's the Jim Lee cover. I'm going for the Jen Bartel cover. This is a beautiful Poison Ivy Harley Quinn cover. That's the one that's going to go up on my wall. And I like getting a variety of stories for the price of one and supporting Pride. So that's the #1 pick this week. And that was my top 10 list. What did you think? What are you picking up? What did I miss? Why are there so many helicopters flying around? Am I getting invaded or what? No, they're on their way to the comic shop after getting my suggestions for amazing comic books. If you liked my suggestions, don't forget to click like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, battle the Minotaur, do all the good stuff. If you really like my stuff, don't forget to click that join button right here in YouTube, or head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos, to pledge and become part of the VMC crew. At $1 a month, you'll unlock exclusives. You'll get some cool perks. There's various levels there. Just click to find out what you can get. I would really appreciate it. If you can't quite pledge at the moment, no worries. Simply like, comment, share. Spread my video to more people. Everyone needs to know about the comics that they need to know about on New Comic Book Day. This has been the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club, and I'll see you next week.